Hi, everybody. I am in Puget Sound Foursquare Church for the Northwest District Missions Conference. And I wanted you to meet a really dear friend of mine, Jeff Roper, who's the area missionary to Europe. Been doing that for how many years now?
Oh boy, I've lost count.
He's
Long
lost
time.
count.
Yeah,
Wow.
long time.
Yeah, lots of airports and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so I really wanted Jeff to talk to you a little bit about how you can make some next steps in pursuing a ministry cross-culturally overseas, either as a missionary or maybe in an NGO. So Jeff, tell us what your thoughts are about how people can take some next steps and also even connect with the European
Okay.
Foursquare work.
Yeah, well, thanks, Lee. I think one of the critical issues is to start prepping your own heart and your own mind right now. That includes learning the culture, learning some history. It's always amazing to me, Lee, when we go in, when I'm working in a European context,
Right.
they'll tell me things like, Jeff, you're the first American I've ever talked to that actually knows this about the history and that's valuing this. And I know I'm not the first, but it feels like that to many of them.
Right.
Valuing culture and the history in a European context is very important.
Right.
It's one of the differences between an American mindset and a European mindset. An American mindset, we're very forward thinking. We're always future oriented.
Right.
A European mindset is actually much more historical. It's backwards looking in the sense of
Interesting.
we're rooted in our history and our culture and our values that shape who we are today. Whereas as an American mindset, we're always thinking about who are we becoming.
Right.
And the European mindset is who have we been. That informs who we are becoming.
Wow.
So learning that, being culturally aware of the nuances of historical divisions and stuff like that is always important. Experiencing the different foods, in every major city, you've got little pockets of places
Right.
that you can go and you don't even have to leave America, and you can leave the culture and enter an entirely different culture.
It's good.
And go in there and eat the food, listen to the people, try to engage them, ask them what is valuable to them. Those kind of things, just learning little bitty, the little steps that actually become your big steps once you get onto the field.
That's good. And so, if somebody was, for example, interested, let's say they've been involved in a local church for, let's say, 5 years, and they want to get more deeply involved in Europe, how would you counsel them to go about doing that at that stage?
We always say this because it's important everywhere, but relationships are everything.
Right.
And in a European context, relationships really are everything.
Right.
I was talking with a friend of mine recently that I've known for 15 years,
Right.
In Europe. And he told me, he says, Jeff, we've known each other a long time, but now you're my friend. It takes a
Wow.
long time and he says, and because you're my friend, I'll do anything for you. Anywhere you are in the world, I'll be there for you.
Wow.
And he's driven 3 hours to pick me up at the airport. Here in America, nobody picks anybody up from the airport. Just go get an Uber.
There you go.
And, but it takes a long time you have to be deliberative, you have to be intentional, you have to be slow, patient in it, that it takes a long time to welcome. It's another difference between an American mindset and a European mindset. Americans, we have friends everywhere.
Right.
Oh, that's my friend, this is my friend, that's my friend.
Right.
Europeans are much more reserved in that when they actually call a person a friend, it is someone it means something deeper to them
Right.
than just an acquaintance. It's somebody that you invite into your home that is part of your life. And so learning to take the long haul, keeping your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Americans, we always say, I'll call you. Well, we know what that means.
They're not going to call.
We're not going to call. That's just a way of saying goodbye.
Right.
But I can't tell you the number of times I've actually had people in Europe say, Jeff, why are all Americans liars? Like, what are you talking about? They go, every American I've ever talked to said they're going to call me, and they've never called.
Wow.
And they took it serious that when you say you're going to call, you're going to call. So learning some of those little nuances can be very helpful. So you never say anything that you're going to do that you're not going to do. Don't ever say, hey, I'll call you, or I'll do this, or I'll do that.
Right.
Follow up, keep your word, and do it for a very long time. After 10, 12 years, they might count you as a friend.
There you go. All right. Well, thanks. Anything else that comes to your mind you want to add before we tell these guys?
You know, learning to serve in any context with a joyful heart, always to come under and say, how can I help this to be a blessing? How can I be a resource? How can I be a strength to this? What are the values? What are the cultures? And that doesn't change no matter where you're serving.
Right.
You know, whether if they're serving in South Central Los Angeles, or they're serving in London, serving in Moscow, or serving here in Tacoma. You know, what are the ways that we can help release the life of God into the situation where we're at right now?
That's good. Well, great. Well, thank you, Jeff, for your thoughts. And this will be your last discussion group for intercultural life and practice. So get that final paper done this week. And pray for you guys, and think about you often. See you later. Bye.